Morning, fellow zombies. It's Sunday. It's the 27th of August, 2023, the Weaver Agency, Roseman, California. 3 o'clock in the morning for this stuff. I never, well, I'm the sleep deprived and emotionally screwed up zombie of Roseman, California. Brrr. I never thought I would see Flashdance, actually Footloose, happening in this time zone. I caught a tube. I call these things. And one of them was directed me towards something I couldn't even fathom at this point. I think Rebel HQ was. Hold on, let me get this thing off here first. Save as much room as I possibly can sometimes on my flash drive. But there was something I was trying to pick up here. That there's an online petition, and a lot of people are jumping on this one because apparently the students have come across that's something on a code of ethics page, if you will, concerning about a Christian university. This one particular university out in Virginia has got a rule in there that you can't dance. It says actually there's violation points to have. Let me get hang on. The group, one of the groups that I check with, is called the Damage Report on YouTube. They're part of the Young Turks network there. And they were reporting that university students, I'm looking at the title of it right now, university students erupt in outrage over a total ban on dancing. So if you're going to be a 4-year over there, trying to get a degree in whatever they're offering over there, and you feel the need to celebrate something, like maybe you got an A on a report, or something that you hear a lively tune and you want to physically gesture in a way that makes you appreciative of the music and the tune and the tone and the company, and you just want to bust out and just go, use the old-fashioned term, boogie, 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 boogie. I'm getting violated for what? Muscle movement? Spasmodic operations of my muscle ligatures? But I feel happy. I want to celebrate. I cannot celebrate. I cannot dance. What kind of moronic crap is this already? I'm getting more point violations just for that. Just for opening up my big freaking mouth over your freak. Apparently, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, even freedom of expression, is muted on university grounds. Private entity, yes, it is. But the problem is, freedom of speech is still freedom of speech. I mean, there are private companies out there, and there are public entities that are limiting on certain grounds, but mostly you can talk whatever you want to talk about. And the expression of one's emotions in the form of muscular jerks and quirks and moving is not allowed. If you wanted to break dance because you're hearing a lively tune and you're just feeling joyous about it, you can't do that. Actually, it says in this report, I think it's about page 15, because I really had a hunt for this thing. It's under the section, if I can just get back to it here again. It's under the, I gotta get back to that one. Okay. Hold it. Okay, so under this PDF file, they call it the Liberty Way Student Honor Code for 2023 and 2024. And this is going to be under the heading of general conduct. General conduct. Under the enforcement of community standards, somewhere in there. So I got to scroll right down here. Okay, and under page, let's see, that's the dress codes, entertainment guidelines. Okay, let's go. No, not that one. Personal community respect, ability. Okay, so it's under statement of personal and community respect. Okay, wait. Purpose of community standards. Okay, well, I got that one there too. Community standards process. Okay, getting closer to the standards of this thing here. Here we go. Here we go. The community standards process under this PDF file. And you can find this on their website. It took me a short time trying to find this damn thing because I was looking under Code of Ethics. Every university that I know of, even out here in California, has their own ethics. And they have it out there for students to read, even though if they would read it, they would bitch and gripe if something else actually happens over there. And then school would refer over to this because there's a lot of forms, and there's, sorry, itchy. But there are a lot of things that we have to keep doing that we don't like to do. Like reading a lot of material that they have besides the academic. There are policies and procedures we're supposed to be hip and up on. I'm not over my college, but I know General Code of Ethics of saying don't go crazy on people. Keep yourself a little bit mellow at this point over here. And if you're going to be playing music, have your headphones on so you don't interfere with anybody else's study. It's common sense things anyway regarding studying. But if you want to dance, I don't think there's anything wrong in a public school education here, even in a community college, that you're not allowed to find a corner or just burst out because you enjoy the music. Granted, right now over at La Valley College, they've got reconstruction going on over the past several years. They got their bond measures, so now they're going crazy on their redecoration of the entire campus. It takes me years just to get a new building up. I mean, it takes months to get one destroyed and then rebuilt into something new. The quad that we usually have, we had a mushroom over there. Some people would be playing music to a level where they don't interfere with anybody else, but they still play, and they would dance. Some people would study and listen to the music. They wouldn't be harassed as much, but they try to be respectable for everybody. I mean, that's what you try to do, is be respectable for everybody. But if they want to dance, they dance. You're allowed to do that, as long as you're not disturbing anybody. It's basically common sense. But when you have a university trying to really control the code of ethics, we're trying to be religious, we're trying to be spiritual, we're trying to be under this, well, how dare you do that? You're dancing. Yeah, I'm dancing because I feel like motivated. Because the tune is motivating me to do some herky-jerky moves. I'm moving my muscles. I'm getting some exercise. I'm getting some exercise. Look at me, I'm getting some exercise. You can't do that. That's against the code of ethics at this point over here in this Christian school. How dare you insult the Lord Almighty and God and everything else? How dare you? I'll point the finger at you at camera. How dare you be happy? How dare you celebrate in this God's forbidden format? Okay, boys and girls. I'm not hip on the scriptures, but I know somewhere in the Bible it is giving respect and appreciation to the one who created us by expressing ourselves in a way that we can only express to the Father. And if you feel like dancing in celebration in a lively tune, doesn't matter what kind of tune it is, it may be a lively tune, but something to get your body moving. Even if you're moving half your body anyway in a chair, just this would be considered dancing. But at a university in Virginia, in Liberty, they're saying that you can't dance. You get points deducted on you. And these points are like punishment points. And once you get to a certain level, you got to pay a fine. It's not the point system itself. It's not able to dance. They're 5-point violation. I mean, yeah, absence from disturbance, absence from or disturbances in a required meeting, if you happen to freak out or something like that. Disturbances in or leaving early from convocation, whatever the hell that is. Dress code violation. What's wrong with dress? Failure to respond to student affairs official response within 48 hours. Improper sign out. Okay, curfew violation other than late for curfew. This is basically if you happen to live on the campus. Possession or using of tobacco or nicotine or even e-cigarettes, you're screwed. Illegal gambling, yeah, attendance at a dance. What? Did I see and read that correctly? Attendance at a dance? You show up at a dance somewhere and you can't dance? You're not allowed because of the ethics? But if you happen to do it and you happen to get reported, my goodness, the word gets back to the student body, actually to the faculty. And the faculty will put you through a rigmarole on this one. It says you got 5 points deducted. You're going to get $15 fine. Wait a second. When I attended a dance, even if it's a wedding and they have a dance over there, it's $15 fine? Now, I understand if I happen to go into an underground and dance in there somewhere. They get some good lively tunes in an underground on some occasions. I haven't been to one personally, but I've heard. And then you get caught because somebody else puts it on YouTube. Faculty picks up and it says, "How dare you doing something ungodly here? You're going against God and our ethics over here. We're a godly Christian nation over here. We worship God Almighty, but this is going against the book. The book." I understand they have a conniption fit concerning about video games. I mean, Grand Theft Auto would be extreme a bit. And so would playing an Atari game of Berserk. Would that be also a problem? Or playing Asteroids? Of course, if you're into the Star Wars games, the old, yeah. Because you're either playing with starships fighting against other things, and you're on the ground and you're shooting a gun at a fictitious target, but you're shooting a gun. You're shooting a gun. Well, then you got a problem right there. So, you can't go to a dance? You can't go to dance and just... Because unfortunately, dance to them is an open door for more student behavior that's not acceptable. Well, things happen at a dance. Sometimes you do get into a brawl, but sometimes you get positive things happening over there besides getting your groove on. You're forming relationships over there, or you're expressing yourself in relationships, and some things happen, and all hell breaks loose. It's humanity. Off campus, what's one thing? On campus, I probably got a conniption fit over that damn thing. Let's just say that somebody was going to be doing an impromptu dance because they just got something. something positive that they just got feedback, something that motivated them to go, yeah, can't do that. Why? Because it's against the rules. What? That's how strict some of these colleges are getting these days. Have to motivate your mind, have to motivate your brain, have to be on conduct at this point over here, and you can't have any relationships. Watching the movie Footloose a long time ago with my brother, I didn't think things like that could happen. I thought it was just a fictional story. But after seeing these things these days, I'm not quite so sure these days. Kevin Bacon and John Lithgow are having a conniption fit over this crap. The characters that they had in the movie for Footloose was this one kid and his family moved into a town, and kids going into high school. He's discovering how high school during that town is a bit constrictive, constricting in behavior and ethics. Everything is religious at that point. Now, I'm not going to be knocking against religion. I'm not going to knock against it. What I do have an issue with is schools have dances. Dances are like outlets for emotional response. Instead of keeping it all in and we're being so Puritan at this point. Even the Puritans are like this. We have to hold it together because we are trying to be acceptable under God's creation. Well, God created dancing, for Pete's sake. He created the urge inside of us to be motivated enough to celebrate, get some muscle movement, burn off the calories, express our inner joy inside of us that we feel, so we do it in muscle herky-jerkies and whatever movements we got. Whatever we call it, as long as we're moving the damn body and we're saying and celebrating in one form or fashion. The square dance would work, but no, you can't do that. In this town, governed by this one particular pastor. The pastor is adamant against dancing. This is a movie. He's adamant against dancing. He doesn't like it. He don't even like his kids doing this shit. But his kids are running out and doing this thing. At the end of the school year, they have the graduation. And the kids have to let loose. I mean, all throughout the film, there have been portions where they're dancing and they get caught and they're in trouble all the time. John Lithgow versus Kevin Bacon. And Kevin Bacon's trying to tell this pastor, this controlling guy of this town, the kids have got to do this. This is their time to do it. This is their time to go crazy, but they go crazy in a way that doesn't interfere with anybody else. They dance, they love, they celebrate life. And what's wrong with dancing and celebrating life? Nothing. I mean, yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, I mean, sure, when I was growing up as a teenager and seeing breakdancing happening. I mean, there have been different areas of the San Fernando Valley that there would be communities of having breakdancing going on. Even Burbank, when my brother and I were passing through. And we're walking through some of the store areas, and this is late at night. And we're seeing these kids dance. They're doing things to the body I couldn't even do. And didn't even want to do. Because it'd be breaking my neck. But they did it. There was nothing wrong with dancing. Of course, I couldn't dance for shit, and neither my brother could. No, actually, my brother could dance a lot better than I could. I just was too damn scared. Not that I was going to be complying anything. I just got embarrassed about my own way of dealing things. If I was going to be dancing, it's usually alone in in a bedroom without anybody else, and I'm just listening to music, and I'm grooving like crazy. There have been some musics I could listen to, and I can groove, even in a chair, just kind of. These days, I can do this. If I really get motivated into something like this, and I'm like, yeah. And I don't think that me doing those kind of movements would actually tick off the people in the spiritual realm. I think they would probably look at it as celebration for something, even if I'm well motivated into the situation. If I was on the campus of this university here, and I'm listening to something that's really motivating me, even if it's from the 50s or 60s music, that may piss them off a little bit. Or, try this one, big band. Big band music. Let's say, for example, you're listening to Benny Goodman or Glenn Miller and a few others. Louis Armstrong, Lyle Hampton. Oh God, I was trying to think of the drummer in the Benny Goodman band. Oh, I'm gonna hate it for this one. The people in the current music industry would know the people I'm talking about. Anyway, even the music that we'd listen to, they would dance. The young people still would dress up, uh, from the teens all the way to the 40s. They would dress. They would go out and party. They would dress respectably during the times, suit and ties and that kind of stuff. But they would take them out to parties and just listen to the music and sway to the music and dance to the music. But things like that apparently are inappropriate because it's to the restrictive and constricting thought processes here. They'd look at it as it's vulgar. Singing, okay, fine. You can sing in whatever the congregations would be. You can sing in different places left and right, but and the evangelicals, if you happen to go into those kind of church services where they would raise up and scream out and sing like crazy, and they're just. I've been in those before. I've been in a few of those before. Scared the hell out of me because I was so used to the damn restrictive. You'd sing, you look in the Bible, actually you look in the hymnal, and you're singing, and okay. So you're just singing at the book, but you're supposed to be singing out loud. I got used to that all the damn time. But me dancing in front of people, embarrassed the living crap out of myself, you kidding me? Jeez. So, there's an online petition out there. And people are filling these things out. And telling the university, knock this shit off. What's wrong with dancing? Vulgar? Insane? How dare we? There are different cultures out there who use dance as a way of communicating and celebrating life. In my experiences of reading about different cultures, I read that different places actually have dance as part of their ethos, as part of their religious culture and of their own culture. Africa has a lot of countries in this continent. Some of them actually do use dance to celebrate, to commiserate, to express. You go, let's see, in Europe, Oktoberfest, if I'm not mistaken, even the folks in Germany and a few other countries would celebrate the holiday, and I know they drink like crazy, but they would also dance as well. So dancing is part of the human nature. Dancing is part of our culture. It's part of our genome. It's part of us. And to restrict that from people left and right is to take out portions of us. We're not Puritan robots. We are beings that express life in different ways. And one of those ways is to listen to music and respond to it. And if the tunes are lively enough in our own head and we're feeling the mood of that time, we want to express it. We want to express our joy, our enthusiasm for life, or celebration of just being alive. So what's wrong with that? So I don't understand the getting points and getting money, giving money to a university that's already taking money out of your pocket anyway. But they're going to penalize you because you want to go to a dance or attendance at a dance. Even if you just stand around listening to the music and you're just going to sway into the music, or maybe you're tapping your feet like crazy. That's not allowed. That's dancing. That's movement right there. That's movement of your muscles right there. Not allowed because you're at a place. Maybe on campus, that's one thing they got an issue with, but off campus, they're gonna regulate your life at that point. Let's say, for example, if you happen to go to a concert that you like. You listen to these guys before you attended the university. You knew these guys are coming over to a particular city that you can go to. And over in the city, they are going to have everything else that the university doesn't like. Bears, women, men, and others. But music. Okay, what's to say? I can understand if we're talking about heavy metal or the Agent guys from the old days. Seeing an Agent Aerosmith concert, they'd have a problem with that one. Okay, how about if it's a musical tribute to some of the artists that have fallen, as in passed away? Something like the Beatles, that scared the living crap out of them. Okay. Everly Brothers? Statler Brothers, they may go crazy over that one. Because it's not dance enough. You have to have something that really puts you at your pace. AC/DC would be perfect. They couldn't stand AC/DC. So let's say you go to an AC/DC concert. You're probably wearing a university shirt for identification. But you love AC/DC. Okay. Let's say, for example, that they got some of the music out there, including the ones called Thunderstruck. I love that music. And you're listening to this music, and you're thunder, thunder, and you're seeing these agent figures on the guitars just. And you're getting into it. Somebody afar notices the damn shirt. You don't even have a drink of alcohol in here. You got to brought yourself a bottle of soda or something like that. Or maybe you got a container that has soda or water in the damn thing. Doesn't matter. You're wearing an advertisement. You're wearing an open season. You're wearing a Target shirt. Now, if you had a different shirt already, maybe they would notice. Or maybe you'd have a snitch in there who's so head up to ass regarding the rules and regulations that they're looking for violators. They happen to see you enjoying yourself. Happen to get a video of you enjoying yourself. You're not doing anything wrong. You're dancing around. You're listening to the music, and you're yeah. And you're listening to this damn thing, and they don't. Word gets around to the people that actually did a moral judgment on your ass. That's the thing people are having an issue with. Even off the campus, they can't even enjoy themselves because they're listening to this crap. To the people on campus, they're listening to this stuff. How dare you? In the movie Footloose, back into it again. The kids had to go out of county, out of town's reach, to dance up a storm. They want to dance. They're bursting out like crazy. And at the end, Kevin Bacon convinces John Lithgow that they have to dance and convinces the town. And the kids go crazy with the music. It's 1980s music. It's not exactly the most dangerous music around. I mean, there are certain tunes out there that's pretty freaky. I know I grew up in that time. But we're talking about kids expressing themselves in the movie where finally Lithgow understands. Even dancing is part of God's way of, you know, getting back what he put in. And in talking about this, he still requires something out of us. Worship. Even in the countries that I may or may not have forgotten about, they also celebrate ways of dancing to celebrate God. I think I already covered this portion here. Of giving back to Him what He gave to us. Now, I'm lousy when it comes down for dancing. Slow dancing, okay, I can do that. I can do slow dancing. Even my age, I don't know, even my feet, but there's nothing wrong with dancing. Even moving around in a damn chair, just feeling the music and just celebrating life. There's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong when you can't celebrate it, one form or another. And you're not allowed to do that because someone has a really restrictive viewpoint of what celebrating life is all about. And dance is celebrating life. Dance is celebrating giving celebration back to the Creator. And if they don't like it, well, then they got a problem with it. They got to deal with the Creator on this one here. But no, we're talking about restrictive policies. We're talking about being restrictive at this, in thought patterns and feelings and emotions and everything else. Basically, it's outside the box, and they don't want to go through there because it scares the hell out of them. Because now it means they have to change and reformat themselves, and they can't do that. They refuse to do that. Well, I hate to tell them this, but their universe is getting smaller and smaller. They have to realize this. Unless, of course, they're going to be forcing the entire world under their own thumb, their own box, and their own way of saying things. I hate to say it, but they've got their egos running like crazy. It may be in the form of trying to be obedient to God, but this, to me, is being disobedient to God. There must be self-expression. There must be some kind of form of expression that's acceptable. Even to celebrate life, or not to celebrate life, but just celebrating something. Anyway, that's my rant for this morning on this one.